Another day, another podcast. Club Soda Club is back. Did everyone just see me leaning? I mean, look how comfortable and relaxed I am. That's good. See, and I'm certainly not the first human man to complain about throw pillows, but what are they for? They're not good. This is how a couch should be sat upon. If you want to fucking lounge, you need to get your butt forward. That's really the way to sit. And then I just hit my head. Let's get a close-up replay of that. All right, good. Funny start. Good, funny start. So here's the deal. It's standing on the show. Just right off the bat, we'll get the signature crack of the can. But I haven't been to the store. And so the only soda water I had available, bro, I'm about to get you hip to something. If you're a real soda water nerd, see, here's the thing. I'm sort of in a monastic, minimalist period in my life. Let me look around me. But so I've just been buying the plain boys of soda water from Safeway. You know, just generic brand plain flavor. It's not about the flavor for me anymore. It's strictly about the bubbles. But if you're looking for flavor, there's a brand out there. My parents found out about this, of course, because they know about all the fucking fancy shit that exists. There's a brand of soda water out there called Ora Bora. For all you Ora farmers out there, you can drink this. You can have Ora inside you. I don't actually know what that means. Getting old. But so, yeah, we've got the Ora Bora Ginger Meyer Lemon flavor. It's tremendous. It's delightful. It's refreshing. But this one, because like I said, I haven't been to the store. I didn't have. But I knew there was a secret stash in the closet, short for closet. So what I'm going to do is I've got a cup of ice here, and I'm going to drink this. Which, I mean, obviously cold soda water is good, but you need it to be cold over anything, but you'd prefer to have it refrigerated. And then, because now I'm going to pour it over the ice. Of course, the ice is going to melt. And then you're left with watered down soda water, which isn't that bad. But the water and the bubbles and everything, it doesn't mix. And the flavor is all watered down. The bubbles aren't as strong. So, we've got it. But it's, it's great because we got the fancy flavored one. But then it's less than ideal with the ice and the water. So, sort of a bittersweet start to the show. Man, I don't know if this is just something about me specifically or if it's because I'm fucking Jewish, but I could tell you, like, I have a preference for every single thing on planet Earth. I mean, that's how I'm just from like a cushy life that I've lived in a bubble and been sheltered my entire life, because I've just had time to think about every single stupid thing that couldn't fucking matter less. Like, to know that deeply that ice is going to melt the drink and that I'm not going to like the drink as much. I mean, God, people are dying of thirst in other parts of America, not even other parts of the world. People in Flint, Michigan don't have clean water still. Shout out. And I'm just over here like, man, wouldn't it be nice if this was cold so I wouldn't have to put ice in it and then it would taste a little more bubbly? So that's the kind of guy I am. That's something for me to sort of look at myself about in the future. Once again, still don't really know what the podcast is. I just felt myself being about to like, so this is what I've been up to this week, which is maybe what the podcast is, but I feel like, I could just try to make it a little bit more interesting than like. Also, really what you are looking at right now is a guy who has spent, great. A guy who has spent some massive part of the last week hitting golf balls at a driving range. I am so... Any girl that has a boyfriend that plays golf or a husband that plays golf knows what it's like to just lose a man to golf for, a 7 to 30 day period. Like, obviously, if you play golf, you're playing golf often and it's taking up some percentage of your time anyway. But when you really get locked in, you're like, I'm trying to hit the ball better. I want to be a better player. Man, it's all I've been doing. So, I certainly wouldn't want to bore my audience with hearing about the minutia of the golf swing and what I've been able to accomplish. But, God, maybe we'll throw a clip in. God, me sweating my ass off at the damn driving range. I'm really cracking it now. I'm really getting it out there. So enjoy this. Here, I'll play it, and you guys, it'll just be right here or something. That's gay. Wow, good sound. Sounded really good. So the other thing that I've been doing, I go to the gym a lot. I go to the gym a good bit, and at my gym, I think I've mentioned this before on the show, but they have a room. They have a room with a hot tub and a cold tub, and there's a little shower off to the side, so you can shower off before you go swimming. I guess I'll try to have you experience this the way I experienced it. The other thing is the room where the sauna, or there is a sauna, you're not going to be able to imagine. The room where the hot tub and the cold tub are, there's a glass, there's windows, but they've sort of frosted the windows out so you can't see in. But there's a little sliver that you can see in, which is actually kind of crazy. Like, it should be pretty private, but I don't know, for whatever reason, they've opted to just make it slightly visible. Maybe so if you're like trying to find your friend, you can see if they're in there. But so yeah, there's a little window. Let me just do this with my hand one more time to illustrate absolutely nothing. But so in there's a hot tub and a cold tub. And the hot tub has jets, to make it jacuzzi-like. But the jets, I didn't say this. I didn't set this up right. But the jets, they have some kind of foaming agent inside the jets so that it bubbles up like a bubble bath in the public gym. Like, you work out, then you're like, all right, I'm going to go do a cold plunge and then go back and forth between the cold tub and the hot tub. Like, you're in that kind of state of mind to be in there as a grown adult taking a bubble bath. I mean, men, as far as I know, stop taking bubble baths as soon as they learn how to shower when they're a child. Well, so when I say men, I mean boys. I haven't taken a bubble bath since I was a boy. I haven't even really taken a bath in probably 10 or 15 years, maybe more. But I certainly have not taken a bubble bath in at least that amount of time. But I could see, I'm sure women are taking more bubble baths than men. At least, I mean, maybe women and gay men are taking more bubble baths than straight men. I don't know this to be true, but I've heard that a lot of women might pleasure themselves in the bath with some bubbles and some candles. And it's obviously nobody's doing that at the gym, I should hope, but it's ridiculous to imagine a grown adult. So this is the other thing. This is what you have to realize, is that there was a day where I was at the gym and I didn't know that the jets made bubbles. So I thought that a woman had brought bath bubbles from her home to the gym. I was walking by and I peeked through the little window and I saw a woman taking a bubble bath at the public gym. I was like, excuse me, you're not at your house. And then some amount of weeks later, I was in the hot tub and somebody turned the jets on. I was like, oh, it just does this. But God, that's so crazy to just be taking a bubble. You give yourself a fake beard with the bubbles. Oh, what would you like for Christmas, little boy? Like, what are you doing? Don't take a bath at the gym. Go home. So that's just kind of a weird thing that I remembered from this week, was learning that the bubbles are intentional and not. I mean, God, you'd really have to be crazy to be like, God, this hot tub is nice, but I'm going to bring some bubbles from home. I think everyone at the gym would enjoy that. Anything else big going on in my life? My parents are getting back. You guys, it's my reign, my free run of the house is coming to an end. I feel like exactly how I felt when I was 17 and my parents would go out of town for 3 days. And that way I really haven't changed much. It's really nice to just be able to smoke weed without worrying about your parents knowing you're high. And I know I'm a grown man. I know I'm 28. I know that I'm a grown man and that if I want to smoke weed, I'm allowed to smoke weed. My parents, they can't do really anything to stop me. But there is a different dynamic. When you live with your mom and dad, suddenly you kind of have to submit to their authority again, even as a nearly 30-year-old man. You got to play by their rules. It's their house, their rules. That's still the way it is. So, and now they know that if they yell at me, I'll just go out and rent an apartment. So they're not going to tell me not to smoke weed. Like, you can't do that or you're kicked out. But the vibe is sort of, we don't really want to see it. We don't want you to be doing it all the time. And so but yeah, no, God, it's been so great to just be at a house all summer, you know what I mean? Fucking, I don't have to worry about being naked. I don't have to worry about, I can play guitar whatever hours of the night I want. I can come and go without getting fucking interrogated. But yeah, they're back tomorrow, which I did not know. I thought they were coming back in another couple days. So yeah, that's I love them, but that is a bummer. It's gonna be back to Three's Company over here. Third wheeling with your mom and dad. Imagine that. But guys, it's been a while for me. And I'm hesitant to say that on the pod, but nobody really watches this, so it doesn't matter. It's been quite a long time, and I'm used to that. Sexually, I'm very camel-like in that way. Only instead of water, it's just horniness. I can bottle it up and save it for a later date. I'm quite good at that. So, it's been a while, but something that I've learned is when you go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months without being intimate with somebody, it just starts to creep to the front of your mind in a way that it's not. It's weird because when you're doing it often, when you're engaging in coitus often, you think about it, but in a very concrete and almost what's the word? Not logistical, but it's a thing that takes place in your life. It's not like going to work, but it just becomes a part of your. It's like going out to dinner or something, like, ooh, maybe we'll go get Chinese food tonight. It's like, oh, maybe I'll get to have sex with my girlfriend tonight. So you're thinking about it in that way. But when you haven't been with anybody, things in your mind just start to be oriented hornily, and you don't even realize that you're doing that. And so I was doing stand-up comedy the other night, and there was a moment in the audience where I mentioned that I live with my mom and dad. And I don't think this is true now, but when I was on stage, what I thought to myself, I was like 3 minutes into my set, and I heard a woman, when I mentioned that I live with my parents, I heard a lady go, "Ah." And it wasn't like, "Oh, that's so sweet." What I heard in my head was, "Oh, maybe I would have fucked this guy, but now I'm definitely not going to." And I realize how insane that sounds. Like, I'm not saying that I think that's what happened. I'm saying when I was on stage, like my gut brain, what do you call it? My gut reaction was that. And then my intellect took over and I realized that that was probably insane. But also maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe she was way into the kid. But then that was a deal breaker. And honestly, I get it. I could totally see that being a deal breaker for a woman, especially, I mean, the demographic of the women in Scottsdale. And I don't want to make a generalization, but there is an interest in financial success and material possessions. Those are things that are very important to the female population out here. And so, that's not really an area where I'm currently flush, is with financial success or material possessions. And I don't really want to have that, but I just think, dude, if you look around here, I don't know if people know about Scottsdale, Arizona. Like, I know some people probably know that there's a golf tournament that happens here. I didn't really know anything about it before my parents started coming here. But, I mean, dude, I was walking to the gym today and somebody was driving a Lamborghini. Like, that's their car. Like, dude, no matter how rich I get, if everything goes exactly how I want it to and I get to do stand-up for real, if I make millions of dollars and I have enough to where I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy a $350,000 Lamborghini. I hope that's how much they cost. If I buy a $350,000 Lamborghini, it will be a special occasion car. You can get a Mercedes for like, so, in the scheme of things, so little. If you've got $10 million or $5 million, you can get a $100,000 Mercedes and make that your daily driver, just something you can put out on the road, get a BMW. But to take a Lamborghini to the grocery store and you got to go over those little speed bumps in the parking lot in your $300,000 murdered out Lamborghini Urus, like, that is the type of people that live here. They've got on diamond chains that will fucking blind you, hair surgery, fake lips, fake boobs, fake butts. Like, man, this is one that people do. And I'm not... I got to stop doing this on the podcast. This is like a look into who I am, man. I have this mean streak. I don't really... it's probably the same reason people are bullies in high school. It's like, I have a mean streak. It probably comes from a place of insecurity, and it probably is just, I mean, sure, it's a little fun to be shitty sometimes, and I catch myself doing that. But, like, what is the deal with being like a 62-year-old woman and getting a facelift, like a good one? Like, has anybody seen Larry David's plastic surgery, by the way? Sometime, like, in the last couple years, he got some shit done where his cheeks are really, like, I don't know, he just changed his face. But these women get the Larry David facelift, but it stops right here. It's like, how are you going to get the face and not the neck? And I know you got to save up or whatever, but, like, you should be doing it down to your collar or whatever, because that's what a lot of the people out here look like, is like perfectly smooth face skin, and then you can see where their surgery ended. So, all that to say, I don't really predict myself getting too lucky while I live out here anytime soon. Phoenix, Tempe, different story. I think I could make something happen down there, but probably not up in Scottsdale. It could be a short one tonight. God, I haven't even had but a sip of this drink. I don't know if I really finished saying that, but yeah, I think sometimes I can be really judgmental and kind of like mean in my head to other people. And I think it's maybe because, God, I wonder if any of this will make it in. When you do something like decide to try and become a stand-up comedian, and you also don't move to New York or Los Angeles, like, I've tried to do stand-up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and now Phoenix, Arizona, which are not places where people really try to become comedians, although many great comics are from Phoenix and Cincinnati. So, regardless, I contradict myself a lot on this show. But what I'm saying is, there are a lot of times where you fucking doubt yourself. It's hard to like constantly be marching to the beat of your own drum. Like, people, almost everybody in America is doing some version of the same thing. They have a job at a company, or they've started their own business where they work with companies. Like, everybody is kind of on this 9 to 5 thing, or they work in the service industry. Like, but even that, all those are fairly similar. You're clocking in to your thing that makes you money so that you can enjoy the rest of your time when you're outside of work. And most people are doing that. But when you try to do stand up, and I've had day jobs, I've had multiple day jobs, but I have these large chunks of my life where I am just trying to survive off making money from stand up, and it's fucking lonely, dude. You're the only person that you come across in your whole day that's stand up comedian. You're the only person you come across in your whole day that's a comedian until you go meet up with other comics. Like, when I'm at the gym, there's no other comedians there. I don't know what those people do who are at the gym when I'm at the gym. They must be in the service industry or blue collar or some shit. Like, yeah, how do you have a Tuesday afternoon open? I'm there at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. What the fuck does anybody else, why is anybody else there? Like, and so, yeah, you're kind of constantly met with doubt and shouldn't I be more like everybody else? And I think you start to tell yourself these little stories about why other people are wrong and I'm right. And it's not necessarily a terrible habit, because number one, to do something like this, it takes a constant recommitment and like energy. Like, you just constantly need to remind yourself how hard it is, but also that you're capable. It's like a real battle. And other people are also so unhappy. If you talk to the average, I mean, it's been fucking 10 years now that it's such a funny joke to say that you want to kill yourself. Like, and it is funny to say that sometimes in context, but I am not depressed. Sure, I have bad days and bad weeks and bad times, but I don't think it's cool to be depressed. I don't think it's romantic. I don't think it's something that should happen to everybody. Like, I think the conditions of the society that we've built, and I think the conditions of the society that we have built have led to this mass depression. I think cell phones are a huge part of it. But I just think people have bought into this program where you give all of your fucking time and energy and soul to a day job that you maybe don't even really give that much of a fuck about, and then at the end of it, you're supposed to be able to fucking have a house and a family and retire, but you don't get to have any of that stuff anymore. I mean, you can have a family, but you're gonna be fucking broke, and like, unless you're really, really, really upper middle class or wealthy, it's just hard to fucking make that shit happen. So I think everybody is kind of caught up in that and constantly depressed. So I don't think it's their fault, but I think, God, and I've also been blessed to have a family that is supportive of what I do. I mean, living with my mom and dad, I understand that everybody doesn't have the same privileges that I have. Some people's parents kick them out when they're 18. And I also think that's fucking stupid, by the way. I think we need to end that. Obviously. Obviously, I think you should be able to live with your parents longer, but stop doing that to your fucking kids. Stop telling your kids you're on your own and you need to figure it out. We live in a completely unjust system. Yes, you can make money if you work hard, but I don't think that's what life is about. And that's why I have elected to do something that is fun, because you're going to be dead and in the ground one day, and I'd rather be a fucking comedian that never made it than be like 68 and be like, well, I guess we'll go to Italy now, even though my back hurts. It's like, why would you wait to travel until you're old? Like, and I don't travel at all. I mean, I guess I get to do stand up and travel that way, but I'm just saying, like, whatever you want to do that's fun, you should fucking do it now. If you even have a sense of what's fun. That's the other thing. Most people, they don't even know what their dream would be anymore if they were to have one. So I'm not I'm doing it right now. Like, I'm justifying the choice that I've made because, you know, my career is still not what I would like it to be. I'm incredibly pleased with some of the things I've been able to accomplish, but could be way better at stand-up comedy, could be way funnier, could work way harder, could have more measurable success. And you know, when you look at some lady in a restaurant or whatever who's got a fancy pearl necklace on and a sweater that looks like it costs $1,000, like, when you see somebody like that and they look absolutely miserable, you have to kind of start to tell yourself, like, I'm doing the right thing. You're gonna not end up like that lady with the face, with the getting a facelift. It's crazy. Just be old. Look at my fucking hair. It's gone. It's going away. I'll be fine. My dad's bald and he's completely insane. But it's like, it's over. I'm losing my hair. I'll be wrinkly, and it's already happening. I'm just going to have to meet a lady who's okay with guys being bald, because that's what will happen when I get married. It will be like, I'm going bald. I mean, was that completely incoherent? I don't know if I got a point across. I wonder if my grandma watches these. I looked through my subscribers on YouTube. I have 6. And one of them is my grandma. And now I don't know if she's going on YouTube on a regular basis and looking through her subscription box. I don't even know if she knows how to do that. But there's a chance that my very own grandmother is watching all of these podcasts. And if that is the case, number one, I think she's going to be even more fearful for my success as a stand-up comedian than she was before. But number two, we got to put the kibosh on that, because I'm saying stuff on here that I would prefer my own grandmother not hear me say. End of September, it's official. I will be in Nashville, Tennessee from September 15th until the 30th. So if you're in the area and you watch the podcast, come check out a dang comedy show. I'll be at Zany's Comedy Nightclub 3 to 6 times while I'm there. Talking to some other people, getting some dates lined up. But yeah, September 15th to the 30th, I'll be in Nashville. Weird one today. Let's polish this bad boy off. I mean, if you thought it wasn't melted before. All right, here we go. I'll just have to sort of do one then the next. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. I'm gonna chug a sparkling water and see if I can not burp. Oh, I couldn't do it. It was too cold. I didn't really go for it either. I didn't get enough welly behind that. Not enough gumption. All right, well, round 2. Come on. Don't stop now. I just inhaled something. This is the definition of being mentally ill. Is doing what I'm doing right now. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I love you. Thanks for watching the show. And hopefully we'll be back next week. Good night.